Hey guys, this is Dano from Hidden Bigfoot Research Lab, and I've been working on this Mercedes-Benz 2006 C-Class 230. I've recorded some other clips and my camera settings were a little low, so I'm trying to just give a little bit more better footage. But I've had to replace the SAM module, and today I'm replacing the turning signal switch. When I'm turning, the wipers will come on sometimes. They don't work unless it's on bright. I mean, I'm definitely having some problems going on. I seen online where these wires will break right there or right there. They just barely make contact. I did see it was a little bit of a job to get these on and off. And the guy's video that I watched, I liked his better because, like, the module that's inside of this thing, his kit came with a key. I'm just gonna have to be real careful with it, or just, I may see if I can stick a screwdriver or something down in there. I guess it retains everything where it's at, like the steering wheel adjustment, I believe that's what it was, or the sensor. Alignment sensor. But yeah, we'll fight that when we get there. To start off, and before I disconnect the battery, right now while I got power steering, I am going to break free these C230 2 volts on the back of the steering wheel. Okay. And now you set the steering wheel, and you see I got it good and straight. Wheels are good and straight. Now I'm going to shut it off, pop the hood. Oh, yeah, I got a rubber mount messed up on that. Okay, now I already loosened it up, and you see on this model, let me get the light in there. This wire here, it runs straight to the negative post. This is the reverse connection. If I disconnect here, it disconnects the battery to the vehicle. So pull that up, put that out of the way. That back on. Now the battery's disconnected. Okay, before just jumping to the switch, make sure and check that this hood latch switch here is working, because if the car thinks the hood is open, it will not turn on the windshield wipers. I saw a lot of things and comments and stuff online saying a lot of people had this switch just not make connection and the windshield wipers not work. The SAM module relay station, fuse station, is underneath here. You release this, button, slide it out right there. Open this up. And you see right here, the 40 right there, I believe is the windshield wipers. And this yellow one and this yellow relay, these two relays here. I did just have to have my SAM module replaced. I never did glue that plastic down. I got the cover for that. I did have it programmed. Honestly, I couldn't tell the difference after it was programmed. I need to see what that actually did, or take it to the dealer and ask them. Okay, my steering wheel's straight. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to record this for y'all. Okay, remember where those 2 bolts are. Okay, get the T30. Now that the battery's unhooked, the airbag light won't go off as long as we don't connect it till the battery's put back together. Okay, so yeah, since I did break them free, I can get my bit in there. So I can loosen that up with just this. And then now this should come forwards. Carefully bring it down. Can you see inside the clip? Okay, you see these clips? He kind of pried and pulled straight up. Yeah, see? It comes out. And then it pops off. And just be gentle. Comes off. And the top one, push in on the button and it just pulls out. We're gonna set that down there. Okay, now using the number 10 Allen or hex bit. I don't know if you can see that. It says it's the number 10. And see, it takes quite a bit of force there. They're supposed to be torqued in at, I think, 100 and Loctited. Pull that out. And see, it's a big old thing with Loctite that was on it. Pull straight off. And make sure your arrow right here, you see that it's your marking line, is straight down at where 12 o'clock would be. Carefully pull your wires out and set that to the side. Keep that straight. I'm even gonna mark it there, right there. Hey, and we're gonna pause that right there. Hey guys, this is future editing Dano. On this car, like you can see the reflection of my editing software on the screen. I'm organizing everything, and I saw right where I am now. This is the very first time I pulled the steering wheel off, and when I pulled it off, I'll show you. If you look at the plug wire, it was at 3 o'clock. And when I pulled the steering wheel off, the wires caused steering angle sensor to spin up to 12, 1 o'clock where it is. And it didn't hurt anything, it didn't jump time, it didn't go around. But I did this like 6 times because of bad parts. Maybe 8, 9, 10 times because of bad parts. And yeah, that plug is at 3 o'clock. But now, this was still a really good idea of marking it, marking everything. I mean, like, it only moved just 90 degrees whenever it did come apart. And then putting it back together, I did turn it back 90 degrees. So I may still keep some of this just for other jobs or for, you know, always marking, always being good is clear. And then I didn't record it, but I had to buy a different brand of part, and it did come with the key. But the paper worked fine. It kept the steering angle sensor from spinning while I had it off. Worked great. So I'm going to go back to regular footage. But just keep that in mind while you watch this. Alright, thanks. Back to your regular YouTube video. Okay, now this thing comes straight out, and there should have been screws. Okay, there we go. We got to line up the screws. There was straight. This second mark is for the screws, which was just slightly over. And okay, now right here, you see there's a key. My kit didn't come with one. Where's my flashlight? I'm just trying to find something to lock this thing in place. I'm gonna name them too. One. No. Okay, that was my second mark. 2. But that don't line the screw up. So I want to go more to there. Okay, and now there's a hole through it. Okay, how about on this side? Here, 3, here, 3. So when I put this back together, so if I go to 3, right there, we're lined up and the pin is lined up. Like I can see the hole that we're locking together. So I'm just gonna use this paper real good and twist it up and lock her in. Okay, now we can continue. And now with them all lined up, 3 is on 3. My wedge is in there to keep it all aligned. Be very careful with this because it's got like a, oops, there. I got all the screws out. Now be very careful and come straight out as not to break it. Yeah, this thing's a booger. Keeping this thing straight, I am gonna put him in the box and set him straight down very carefully. Okay, and then the plastic pins go to these. You just make sure they're aligned when you put it back in. Yeah, see right there. And right there, you make sure those are aligned when in. So pull you out. Pull you out. Pull you out. I believe, will this slide out? Yes, the cruise control module or switch just slides out. And now you have, see there's a hole right there using your C230. Yeah, go straight into the bottom. And do not touch those pins on the back of that switch, the position switch. Okay, pull that all the way out. And then that should all come out. See, it just pops off. Ooh. Where did that go? And make sure I'm pulled straight out. I may have to watch the footage. Okay, I had to go check the footage. This little brass wheel right here, it went on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to take that out and set it right there. And now it's got 3 holding the switch in on the bottom. 10 again, I believe. Carefully take them out. And then take that one out. And I'm holding from the bottom. I'm sorry I can't get good footage of this, guys. It's gonna take them out. Just be careful. Okay, it's an hemostat. I'm gonna grab the last one. I say that. Okay, flip back over. And it just slides out. And yeah, I see like play on the wire. Like I can see a spot that's smashed, wear and tear. Yeah, I see this black wire right there. See, it's broke. This one was definitely bad. Get my new one out. Okay, and get it in the right direction. Okay, get it to line up with that hole, that hole, that hole. And you'll see there's these little slide clips here on the side. You want to make sure that slides in. I mean, it'll be a tight fit and it'll only go in one way. Cause see, I didn't get it. So I'll come back up, push in just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I got it right. That clip, it looks like it clips on there. Don't shove it in there because this snaps on. This plastic piece is what goes into that guide. You just gotta make sure you get it good and lined up with your guide hose on the back. Once they're good and lined up, it will hold it right. You know you got it in there right when they match. And I'm not gonna be able to record and work. Okay, and see, I got my screws all lined up. Now tighten them back up just as you took it apart. And you shouldn't have to force anything together. It should just go together. So make sure you haven't forced anything. Tighten. 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 And see, that feels right. And now make sure all this lines up, going straight back on. Make sure you're good and square. Make sure everything is straight. Carefully put it back there, and you'll feel it just kind of snap. Get your bolt, get your right thing, and now take that back in. And we made sure not to damage any of the clips. Okay, tighten that up. We're gonna put our plastic pieces back in, and our wheel, the golden little copper wheel, brass wheel, put it back on the bottom. Cruise control module. It should very carefully just ride back in. Now your plastic clips. And again, you shouldn't have to force anything. Carefully slide right on in. Yeah, see, just like that. I did have to kind of pop that in. It just snapped right on. And if it don't slide right or together right, look at it and figure out why. Now that one should just snap on in. There we go. Oh, that's working correctly. Okay, I just checked all the footage to make sure we are right. Everything is right. That just slides in. Make sure the plastic caps are positioned right. If everything is fit together, everything is good. Carefully get this again, because you see on the mine it's got a newer cover. The one I watched online, it just had the pin sticking out. We are gonna, you see the plug is right there. Don't touch any of them. I still have my paper key stop crammed in there. And we know 3 lines up to 3. So we are going to carefully guide all that back straight in. Do not force it. Holes are lined up, holes are lined up. It should just kind of snap in. Yeah, that was it. Okay. That was it. You will kind of find it give just a tiny bit. So carefully guide that in and snap. And now using one of my little small tools here, I'm still holding that. I am gonna push because I just want to make sure that it is locked all the way in. Yeah, it's all the way back. Just do not break it. Using the hemostats again. I'm gonna put my screws back in and using a flashlight to make sure we're straight. And I got a little magnet on here that I can normally use it to keep stuff on. I don't know how close I want to get that magnet to that module though. So I'm going to take that off. And I'm just going to start each one, then tighten them up. And you see now that this arrow is pointed down. I don't know why mine was off, but I'm going to put mine back together the way it was. So I want to do these in a star pattern. I'm going to go just, these guys were almost hand tight. I don't know if they were supposed to be. So I'm not going to super torque them down. I am going to get them just good and snug. I'm backing it off a little bit because I want it to pull in straight. Okay, and now I'm backing it off just a wee bit. And I'm going to pull it down straight in. Guys, I'm sorry my dog is crying. He's still a youngin'. He can hear me talking until he wants to come out. Okay, check it real good. Make sure your plastic is still lined up here. All your snaps, they are. Everything is still 100% squared in like it's supposed to be. Now it's tightened in right. We know it did not spin any while it was out. I'm going to pull my paper key stop out. And now we need to turn the timing marks. We know it was at 1 up here for this car. I don't know. I'm putting it back how it was. And now carefully run your wires back through. The arrow triangle goes, the point goes down. Feed that through. Feed your wires through carefully. And make sure that it's still at 1. Okay. And that's back together. And it feels solid. I don't feel like anything's giving. It's a little bit of Loctite right here. I wish I would have got the blue. I'm going to inspect this bolt real good. Okay, I don't have the adapter with me to go from 1/2 inch to 3/8 drive. So I'm just going to torque the hell out of it. And I've done this a lot. I know about where the fill is. And later I may pull it back out and retorque it. Make sure you get that good and torqued down to 100. There. It's good and torqued. Your airbag, you see they're color coded. Snap that on, snap it in, put the key in, snap her down. Same thing with the other one. Make sure you're not in a tangled mess, and make sure your plug hasn't came out. Snap her in, snap her on, and snap it together right. Make sure it's all down. The plug that goes onto the top, same thing. Bring it in, and then plug it in. Make sure it's all right. We never pulled the bolts completely out. They're still in. So we're just going to work that back into where it needs to be. Get our C230, just a bit like we had. Stick it into the hole. And I'm going to tighten that until it fits. Like, you'll feel it when it actually goes. You shouldn't have to force it. It should line up halfway on its own. Yeah, there it goes. Get it as tight as you can with hands. Okay, now the computer, as far as it knows, it never got unplugged. Nothing ever got changed. So now, when I hook the battery back up, my airbag light shouldn't be freaking out. Check all your work, check everything. As long as you've double checked and double checked and double checked, everything should be fine. Okay, we just tightened the battery up. I'm scared. Start the car. Airbag light went off. And now I can straighten the hole or guide it to where I can get my screwdriver in. Pull that out. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. Oh, I gotta close the hood. Okay, now I did see somewhere that said to reset the steering position sensor. Turn it all the way to one side. Turn it all the way back around to the other side. Turn it all the way back. Turn it all the way back. And then go back to sensor. There. Now, oh no. And I got nothing. I'm Okay guys, I just went ahead and just put it in. The instructions were right. I did everything right. Make sure and torque that big 10 Allen wrench down to 100 torque strength, whatever it reads in. I got 2 bad switches in a row, so I've took this apart like 20 times. And see, when you do this, it would be like right there. I believe 100 is what it's at. Make sure and undo your battery, but okay, I got the keys. And let's see, that light should turn off. Yeah, see, I do have a check engine light on. I got one of the bad engines. The balance shaft is bad on this, but I'm just slightly out of time right now. But my turning signals are working. My wipers are working now. I need to get it some juice. But you can see on mine, my actual wires were broke going to the turning signal. And the 2 I got from Bosch, I think they were Bosch parts, these 3 wires were soldered into this module. I was even going to swap the module and put my module on the new part, but that didn't work either. And if you do that, the alignment inside of here, there's where the signals is, you got to make sure and get that linkage just right, or else you'll waste all that time putting it together and it won't work. It took me a few minutes to get this one back together right. I did get it back together right though. I just had to have the linkage exactly where it needed to be and then snap that on straight. But it still didn't help me. I couldn't use it. I had to wait another day. I've waited like 4 or 5 days on this part now. I don't know where I put it. This one did come with the key. Yeah, this one did come with the key to snap in. But my rolled up paper did the same thing. You just want to make sure and keep that angle sensor or that steering sensor from spinning around while it's unconnected, while it's not connected. If for some reason you did get one, I did this like 8 times now, and one time I was just a little bit off because I knew I was going to have to take it back apart. If you do that, disconnect the battery again, unhook the airbag, and just go 1 click in and 1 click over. It's not that bad. You do have to redo the bolt and Loctite it. You might even drive it first before torquing down that bolt and using Loctite on it. And remember, this slides forwards. It gives you more access to the screws in the back. Make sure your cruise control button's working. Make sure your lights are working. I got bright lights, dim lights. If I pull in, I get the, I don't know what the factory calls that, but it goes to brights, it don't stay on brights. But yeah, this is done. So, I hate that I didn't record the last time, but I've done this so many times now from those bad parts. I was just doing it. But the instructions I gave were correct. And that red switch goes into the hole that I stuck that paper in. Make sure and pull, if you use the paper, make sure to pull the paper out. If you use the switch or that little key, make sure and pull it back out when you're done. But yeah, this job is done. Alright, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Check out my other videos. I'm going to have quite a few videos on this car before I'm done. I did the oil last night. I did the maintenance reset light last night. The one that's in here. It wasn't hard. You just go to it with the key on and then hold that for 30 seconds. Still got to replace the door panel handles. These pop open and then the bolt is here and here. Someone just ripped it off before I got it. I've got a brand new one right here. I just haven't put on. I did order the plastic trim tools. They're very nice to have for this car. They were only a few dollars to order. I think that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos for updates. Alright, thank you. Lights.